We're to get a model airport update. When are we going off the tripod for this airport update? The time frame for this airport update is 2 to 5 p.m. Sort of busy as 1 to 4, but not as busy as 1 to 4 p.m. So without further ado, let's get into it. Starting off at Concourse 1, or the smaller terminal, here we have the Southwest Boeing 737-700. He's the 4-1 livery. He arrived in from Key West, and he's going to be heading out to Love Field later today. Next up here we have the Spirit Airbus A320neo. He arrived in from Fort Lauderdale a few hours ago, and he's going to be heading out to Nashville, Tennessee. We have the Delta Airbus A321-200 in the thank you livery. He arrived in from Tampa Bay, Florida, and he's going to be heading out to Atlanta Hartsfield Jackson. Moving on to the other side of the terminal, here we have the Virgin Atlantic Boeing 787-9. He arrived in from London Heathrow, and he's going to be heading out to London Gatwick. Next up here we have the Air Mexico Boeing 737-800. He arrived in from Cancun. He's going to be heading out to Mexico City. And now for the brand new model, here we have the Delta Boeing 737-800 with the blended winglets. He arrived in from Raleigh, Durham, and he's going to be heading out to Atlanta Hartsfield Jackson. Next up, we have the Qatar Boeing 777-300ER and the FIFA 2022 World Cup livery. He arrived in from Qatar via Istanbul. He's going to be heading out to Qatar via Dublin. Next up here, we have the Air China Airbus A350-900. He arrived in from Hong Kong a few hours ago, and he's going to be heading back out to Hong Kong in about 30 minutes' time. Next up here, we have the Etihad Boeing 787-9. He arrived in from Abu Dhabi, and he's going to be heading out to Johannesburg, then on to Cape Town, then back to Abu Dhabi for a charity flight. Next up here we have the Nippon Cargo Boeing 747-8 freighter. He arrived in from Tokyo Narita, Japan. He's going to be heading out to Hong Kong, China. Moving on to the terminal side, here we have the Southwest Boeing 737-700 in the Illinois 1 livery. This guy had some gear maintenance issues during its roll to taxi, and he was placed here in the hangar. And he will be heading out to St. Louis, Missouri after he gets his issues fixed. Next up here we have the Lufthansa MD-11 in the hangar. He had a little paint scrapes. He's going to repaint it quickly, and later he will be making his flight out to Frankfurt. Moving on to the taxiing section, here we have the Delta Boeing 757-300. He arrived in from LAX, and he's going to be heading back out to LAX. Next up here we have the Behemoth. We have the Airbus A380 operating for British Airways. He arrived in from London Heathrow, and he's going to be heading back out there later. Here we have the United Airbus A319. He arrived in from Chicago O'Hare, and he's going to be heading out for a flight down to Newark. Here we have the Alaska Airbus Boeing 737-800, and they're honoring those who serve livery. He arrived in from Red Dog a few hours ago, and during his takeoff roll, he skidded very close to off the runway. We're going to pretend that this little thing is a C, because I'm not actually going to put a bunch of blue paper around there, so I'm too lazy. So, yes, he was really close to falling off. I'm not sure what's going to happen to get him off the runway, but right now passengers are being evacuated, and of course the fire crew is here to make sure nothing happens where the plane falls over. Now it is time for airport news. So with airport news, we have the first plane, the Delta 737-800. I know I said that this would be operating flights to Cancun, but not right away. I haven't really thought of too many new routes for this guy yet, but I know for a fact that we will get to see him go to some interesting places, but not yet. I want to send him down to maybe Austin. That used to be an old route from my old airports, from my old A321, but I don't know about it yet. So he's gonna be doing flights, and hopefully to Austin. That's really it for that. I don't know what happened with my camera there, but with Southwest flights are going to be, we're going to have some new flights down to Texas. mainly El Paso and Houston Hobby. We get the occasional Reno Tahoe, but that's it for Southwest. Now it's just for reference. This is of course not 1 to 400. It says 1 to 130, but for reference, I got a 1 to 200 model by Gemini Jets. I'm not gonna tell you too much about it yet. I'm just gonna say it's American Airlines. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm excited to get the model, and I just want to give some reference for this plane, since it's the closest thing that I have to 1 to 200, and it's sort of broken though. That's really it. And well, without further ado, peace.